Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. So, I have a bunch of videos ready for you tonight. I am starting this discussion with this because, more and more it looks like the virus came out of a lab in Wuhan, the plague, whatever you want to call it, right? This is what the, people keep talking about on the news. It's like the origins of COVID, and when I ask, will humanity survive, there's many questions to consider, like creating viruses that could kill everyone in the entire world because it's interesting. I don't know, why would humanity do that? Is it not? Is not humanity it's doing? It's just some evil fucks that we give all our money to. I don't know, but this brings us to a lot of interesting questions. It's like nuclear weapons. Of course, we seem to have survived nuclear weapons so far, but the real question: go up, up, go up, up, do it, go up, up. The real question is, it's not just the nuclear weapons. It's not just the. It's not just the bees. It's or the plague. It's not just the nuclear weapons. It's not just the plague. It's the bees. It's the top of the food chain dying everywhere. The orcas, the whales. We see it happening all over the place, right? So it's not just that. Someone used a lot of money to create this evil virus and then let it escape from this evil place where they create evil viruses. And apparently the U.S. has sent a bunch of money there. Apparently. I have a video that talks about that. Unlike the videos that they're talking about now, the origins of COVID, they're struggling with the idea that this was created in a lab, which is something that we've talked about a lot, because it is definitely a possibility. And again, this is what leads me to these questions about, will humanity survive? It's not so much that I want to have hope for the future. I'd really like to know that that humanity will survive. I don't want to have hope that humanity survives. I want to see action taken that assures, that guarantees that humanity will live on this planet. Not some fantasy about, oh, we're going to go to Mars. No, I don't want to hear that shit. Okay? Because that's a load of crap. Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to Mars. Even if we did, that wouldn't really be humanity surviving, because only a few people would make it there. And a few people doesn't cut it. Humanity is so many different flavors everywhere. It's this beautiful, remarkable thing that again, I don't want to hope that it survives. It doesn't make sense, that we hope that this survives, that we hope that the orcas survive. We should be doing every single thing in our power to stop the orcas from dying. I mean, that's what being, the big-brained, upright, walking, tippy top of the food chain is supposed to mean. We are the tenders of this paradise. We are, the protectors of every living creature on the planet. And we're not doing a very good job of it. Which again leads me to believe that humanity may not survive. Either way, well, not either way, but again, I don't want to hope for humanity. I don't want to hope that people will stay alive in bomb shelters. This makes no sense. This warring bullshit, it makes no sense, except for some shithead garbage people are making a tremendous amount of money off of it. I'm sorry, some obscenely rich pieces of shit garbage people are making insane amounts of money off of creating war around the world. Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney, they come to mind right away. So, which leads me again to leave, I don't see if this is acceptable, that we use our money to create viruses that can kill everyone on the planet, if we use our money to create nuclear weapons that can kill everyone on the planet, if we use the idea of producing weapons in order to make money, that isn't humanity. That is not humanity. That is something that's trying to get rid of humanity. Instead, I mean, it's obvious, right? You make nuclear weapons. That's not for mutually. Let's see. It's for mutually assured. Mutually assured. What is it? Mutually assured. Damn it. Mutually assured destruction. I think that it's pretty unfortunate that our money would be used that way. Not just unfortunate, it's insane and disgusting and looking to kill everyone on the planet. How can our money be spent that way? On mutually assured destruction. Is that what you want to leave for your children? Is that what you're hoping for? Mutually this is where your money goes. And it's only done to make fucking filthy rich people even more rich. That's the only reason. There's no, we have to protect ourselves with nuclear weapons. There's no protecting yourself. There's mutually assured destruction. Okay, the plan isn't to protect each other. The plan is to make sure if they're going to kill all of us, we kill all of them too. This is a good plan. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, let's create viruses that can kill everybody on the planet. What could possibly go wrong with your tax dollars? Basically done in your name. And it's not just happening in Wuhan. This is happening in biological labs around the world. And it's got to stop. If you want humanity to survive, which I think probably a lot of people, are not real big on that idea. Apparently, making, viruses that can kill everyone on the planet, apparently that many people aren't that concerned about humanity surviving, which is sad. If anybody wants to talk about this is a call-in show. The number is right there on the screen. 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. Whisper, I don't know what your problem is, but don't make me pull your head out of your ass. I'm very good at that. You won't like it. So, let's see. Okay, I have origins of COVID mass fights. That's a fun video. Economic inequality. Cover-up killer cops. Which we know they all do cover-ups. This is the real problem with policing, is that they all lie. What good is having cops who think they can murder someone and then lie about it? Have that video coming up. Let's see. Oh, and I have a video about vaccine side effects in teens, which I think, again, parents are going to want to see. Because if you knew it was possible that your child might have a side effect, a very, very negative side effect from the vaccine, it might be something that you want to second think, right? I'm not telling you what you do. I'm just trying to put information out there that seems important to your decision-making process. And I am ready for a bong hit. And since no one's calling, I'm going to play a video and get the bong ready. How about COVID mask fights? Does that sound like fun? Brawls. It should say COVID mask brawls because they look pretty bad. Wait a minute. Which video is it we want to play here? Ooh, how about Make-A-Wish child abuse? You're going to want to see that one, I think. Here we go. COVID mask brawls because this is fun.
The FAA says reports of unruly, even dangerous behavior from passengers has nearly doubled in the past month, from about 1,300 cases to 2,500 cases now this year. Much of it centers around, what else? Wearing masks. Tom Costello reports.
From multiple fistfights breaking out in the Miami airport over a standby seat on a plane, to a fight on board a plane in the air.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
To a passenger arrested for allegedly assaulting another customer. The suspect has pleaded not guilty.
Gesturing, stabbing motions towards the other passenger, and there was also observed erratic behavior and snorting a white substance.
The JetBlue plane forced to divert to Minneapolis.
This was the closest place to go, so we, as a team, made the decision to come here. So that's what happened.
This morning, federal authorities report bad behavior on board planes has nearly doubled since we first reported on the problem earlier this month. The FAA now investigating 2,500 reports of unruly, even dangerous behavior just since January 1st. 1,900 of those involving passengers who refused to comply with federal face mask requirements. A staggering jump from a typical year with just 150 confirmed cases. The FAA's zero-tolerance policy now taking action against passengers nearly every week. A passenger fined $15,000 for assaulting a flight attendant on a flight from Miami to L.A. Another passenger also fined $15,000 for also assaulting a flight attendant going from D.C. to Seattle when asked to wear a mask. An Orlando to New York passenger fined $10,500 for refusing to wear a mask and verbally abusing the crew.
The FAA is strictly enforcing a zero-tolerance policy.
FAA Chief Steve Dickson, himself a former pilot.
This isn't just about face masks. We've seen incidents related to alcohol, violence toward flight attendants, and abusive behavior in general.
Interfering with a flight crew can bring criminal charges, jail time, fines of up to $35,000, and banned for life by the airlines. Flight attendants say the abuse is the worst they have ever seen.
Almost all of these incidents start with a conflict over the mask policy. They may be exacerbated by alcohol or other conditions on board. The problem is that in the air, little problems can become big problems very quickly.
Really sad. All right.
Okay. So, that gives me so much hope for humanity too. Doesn't it give you faith in humanity? It's time for a bong hit. I need a bong hit. I'm going to heat this up just a little bit more because I think I got sidetracked. I need a bong hit. Again, these are the things that, there seems to be just a lack of humanity and a lack of empathy and so much anger, I don't remember if you remember at the beginning of the plague what I said, right? Remember what I said at the beginning of the plague? I said, stay cool and we'll get through it. Don't buy into the hyped up fear. Stay cool and we'll get through it, right? Isn't that what I said at the very beginning of the plague? Very nice. Let's see. So, then there's the Gaza thing, right? Then there's the Gaza thing. And, this has been this way in Gaza for 40 years. The West Bank, 40, 50 years, maybe longer. 1967 at least. So there's just, we can just go from thing to thing to thing. But what really worries me is the thing about the mass extinction, is the thing about using up all the fucking drinking water on the planet as quickly as possible. That bothers me a lot. I want to believe in tomorrow, and not just the using up the drinking water, it's the creation of these deadly diseases in a lab. You think that's the only one they're working on? Do you? Because I would bet every penny I have that it's not. COVID's not the only one they're working on. And then there's the nuclear weapons and the war profiteering. Maybe it would be better if humanity didn't survive. I know there's a lot of people who think that. I don't really think that, because there's so much that humans do that are so awesome. Making music goes back to the beginning of humanity. And other than this formalized shit that the record labels all try and, put out these days, the big record labels, other than that, the creation of music, the creation of stories, the creation of paintings, so much art stuff that people do. And then there's the food. There's like so many different flavors of food. And, just coming here and enjoying so many flavors of food would be like a tremendous, amazing thing, if you weren't used to having all the options that we have on this planet. The way that we do treat some animals, like our dogs. We have this really interconnected relationship with the dogs, and it's this beautiful thing, that I think maybe, Einstein said there's like 250 different alien species observing the Earth at any given time, which, he was supposed to be the smartest guy ever, so I don't know. But that was from him. And I imagine one of the things that they find amazing is when we do interconnect with, with nature, with the animals, because I don't think that they do that so much. I mean, I'm sure that on a higher level they do that. But the idea of, looking out for a little creature, pet that's, not nearly as smart as you or whatever, that needs your help on a regular basis, might not be their thing. That being said, who knows, right? Maybe they're all walking around with parrots on their shoulder going, "Arr, matey!" But I doubt it. And speaking of dogs, Craig picked up a bag of dog food the other day, and it's the same brand we've been using forever. Craig wants to see if we can get a sponsorship. It's the same brand of dog food that we've been using forever, this Petcurian. That's what he started on. That's what Rufus started on when he was a puppy. And Craig picked up this bag the other day, and I opened it, and I started to pull crunchies out of it. The bag, the label looked a little different, right? And I started to pull crunchies out of it, and the crunchies were a different shape, and they had all these divots in them, It's just like completely different. Except for the color was the same. The smell was very, very similar. So before I gave him any crunchies, I called up the company and I said, hey, which is, I'm pretty sure it's a Canadian company. I called them up. Small batch dog food. It's supposed to be like top of the line as far as crunchies go. Turkey, duck, and salmon. That's what Rufus gets. So, and a whole bunch of herbs and stuff like that. So I called up the company and I said, hey, the packaging on the bag looks different and the crunchies are a different shape. And I just want to make sure that I'm getting your company's food because that's what the dog has been eating since he was a puppy. And, you know, I don't want to give him some counterfeit stuff. And she called and, she said, okay, what does the bag look like? And I said, it looks like this. And she said, you know, what shape is the crunchies? And I said, it's like an oval shape with, you know, twice the size of the other ones and has like divots in it and stuff. And she goes, okay, I know exactly what you're saying. She said, that's definitely our food. And the ones you've been giving them is a different recipe. It's not a different recipe. It's made from the same stuff, but it's different size. It's just a small little ball, you know, instead of like a oval shaped kind of football thing, you know, with like letters on. I mean, not letters, but what do they call the strings on a football? Anyways, you know I'm not a sports guy. Laces, I think that's it. Like laces on it. Anyways, they sent, they responded, they were very nice. They said, that's our dog food, don't worry, you just got you got the adult formula as opposed to the 1 to 7 year formula. So, and I said, well, thank you very much with all your help. And she was like, thank you for your patronage, and I'm going to send you a free bag of dog food, right? And it says like all these different sizes, including the really big one, which is 28 pounds. They sent me a free bag of 28 pounds of dog food. So I just want to say thank you very much, Pet Curian. It's very nice of you. And an excellent food for your dog if you're looking. Crunchies. I don't think they make anything but crunchies. But, you know, as long as your dog taking care of his teeth, crunchies should be no problem. They should, you know, that's pretty much all they eat is crunchies. Forever. I don't think they've ever had soft food ever, except for like cheeseburgers and donuts and pizza like that, huh? Yeah, you like cheeseburgers and donuts and pizza, don't you? And ice cream and all that stuff. But that's why you got to make sure you have tooth care, because otherwise you can't eat cheeseburgers. And what kind of life would that be? You know what I'm saying? The dog knows exactly what I'm saying. Don't you, buddy? So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play another video because no one's calling. Which one? Should we play the Make-A-Wish one? How about vaccine side effects in teens? How about that? COVID mask fights. We did that one. Cover-up. Let's play the cover-up one. This is about the cops that killed the guy. I can't remember what his name. I think it's Green, but I'm not positive. You know, that Congresswoman Green has been in the news so much. But I think the gentleman's name was something Green, and the cops killed him like 2 years ago, and then they covered up everything, and all the people lied about it. All the cops lied about it, and then somebody sent the AP video, the body cam.
Hello, is this the dog food show?
The body camera video to someone sent the body camera video secretly. They got the video and then they sent it to the Associated Press, and that's the only way that we know that this happened. So it's a really ugly thing, and we'll get to it in a minute. Hello?
Hello.
What's happening?
Hey. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. Well, I called in to talk to you about important stuff. What's the important video you were just about to throw on before I rudely interrupted? Something about that.
Killer cops covering up. Like, they arrested and fired 2 of these cops that killed this guy, Green. I can't remember where it happened. I think his name is Green. And they killed him, and then they beat the fuck out of him, and then they lied about it, and the only way that we know about it is because someone leaked the video to the Associated Press 2 years later.
Wow. They killed him, and then they beat the fuck out of him.
They beat the fuck out of him. He died while they were beating the fuck out of him.
Holy shit! Oh, I see.
And then they said, the official report was that he crashed his car into a tree, and that's why he died after a high-speed chase.
Wow. Yep, more police overreach, brutality in America. Yeah, I saw a video of a Palestinian girl, about 20, walking into her house, and she got shot in the back by Israeli police, and she died.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice, but they do it all over, man. And I work today in my garden, and I am perfectly sane on planet Earth, trying to do my thing. Don't really have a lot on my mind. What's your thing? Oh, will humanity survive? Hell no, we're fucked, Mike. We're fucked. Everybody's fucked. Abandon all hope. We're fucked.
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm questioning really whether or not I'm really wondering whether or not humanity's worth saving, because it's as far as I can tell. I mean, like I said, I just said all these reasons why I think that humans are special, The thing is, if we're just gonna act like, crazy people who want to kill, they're special by making music and cooking all these different types of food and making all these art forms, like not just music but painting and clothes. Like everything that people do almost is an art form. Building things, making clothing, painting. I don't know. It's very. I think it's kind of unique as far as living beings in the universe. Most of them are probably busy doing important things. And, we have these relationships with our animals and all these different things. Maybe they look at us that way. This is Rufus and Sammy, and they posted pictures of them on the Petcurian website. So they're my beautiful babies right there. So, and aren't they amazingly beautiful?
Oh, you have the most beautiful babies in this side of the north of the galaxy, Michael. It's like your babies are so awesome. But even ants make these amazing tunnels. Ant fucking plazas. They're like 14 million hotels all connected by tunnels. Even ants create beautiful shit. And starfish and octopus are like ballet dancers, underwater ballet dancers, and bears are lovable once you get to know them. So everybody creates, from seagulls and people making birds' nests to human beings writing great operas. Not operas. I don't really like operas, but symphonies.
That's just one of the things they do. Yeah. And there's my beautiful babies too, when they were teeny tiny little babies. So
wow, look at that.
I love so many things that humans do, and I really want humans to survive. It's like I said about going off the planet and going out into the universe, out into other planets. I just don't believe that the beings of higher intelligence, 1,000 years ahead of us in technology, that they'll ever let us off the planet because we do evil, Well,
there is that theory that there is a quarantine on planet Earth. I have no idea whether that's true or not, but certainly we're doing our very best to fuck shit up. That's what we do, man. That's how we roll, human beings. But remember, I know for certain you saw the movies, The Lord of the Rings, and if you remember,
I did not.
Oh my God, Michael! No.
I can't stand that director, dude. I cannot stand that director. And in my opinion, I watched like maybe 5 minutes of Lord of the Rings, and I was like, this is garbage. So
Oh my God, because he did like horror shows and shit, right? Before he did that, so you already knew that director.
No, I just hate what he's done. I mean, I was like, who the fuck directed this? And I looked him up, and I just was like, oh my God. You know, and it's not so much what all his entire catalog as what he did to Tolkien. I mean, I read that stuff when I was a kid, and it's one of the things that really got me into reading. You know, just getting lost in the amazing world that was being laid out in front of you.
Yeah, I read The Hobbit sitting on a swing in Oregon, fucking must have been 50 years ago, and I was just like hypnotized, read it from cover to cover in a day or two.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I just don't think he did The Hobbit justice in any way, shape, or form. There's just, I don't understand it, but it's like they leave monumental things out of the story and act like that's just fine because we got to get to the battle scenes. You know, and I understand they only have 2 hours to tell a story or whatever, but
3 hours. Each one is about almost 3 hours. But the reason I bring it up is because Frodo and Sam are sitting there while the fucking Nazgul are attacking Osgiliath, and Boromir's brother Faramir is spying on him, and Frodo wants to give up, and he says, "Why should we go on, Sam?" And Sam goes, "Because there's good in this world, and it's worth fighting for, Master Frodo." And that's why I bring it up, is because that is directly relevant to your thing. I don't know if there's any good people left on the earth or it's worth fighting for. Of course there is, man.
That's not what I said.
Well,
I said there's all this awesome things that humans do. That was what I said to you. I didn't, it's that the problem is, instead of us doing awesome things, we do evil. And doing evil is gotta stop. It's the one reason that evil's being done, other than in psychopathic people, the one thing that's making evil be done is greed. Now, I don't know if greed alone is evil.
Dude. I disagree. The one thing that's being done to perpetuate evil is sloth and cowardice and fear. That's what's stopping humanity from stopping evil, not greed. It's fear.
Greed is what causes the evil.
Greed is part of a psychopathic personality, dude. It's part.
Everybody wants money, but that's not the point. It's the people who already have, so much money that they're never going to spend it, but it's not enough. And here's a way to make easy money, and I can't. And there's so many other ways, So
it's financial injustice.
It's what I believe causes greed. I mean, evil is greed. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. There's a lot of evil mixed up on this planet with the good, and it's hard to. This old Indian sage said one time, right now we're in the Kali Yuga, and it's like somebody poured dirt into a glass of pure, pristine water, and it's all mixed up, but there's still clear water in there. There's still good water in there, and that's what we're living through is a planet that's mixed up, and I think not standing up to evil and greed and apathy and falseness, that's what, and giving permission to that's what makes the planet worse. It's not the bad guys, it's the people not standing up to the bad guys. So you're one of the good guys. You do stand up to the bad guys every fucking day on your YouTube channel. I want everybody to be arrested, every senator to go to jail forever, Bob. You're right. You're not a pussy. You speak out every night to the point of the matter, which is accountability, It's like we can't change it until the people doing the bad things are held accountable for their fucking crimes.
Right.
So
let me just add real quick is that this is what I'm talking about with the police. Yesterday we played a video where the cop was saying the cops are just throwing up their hands because they have no support in the community, and we're the victims now. This is why I've said if they don't want to do their jobs, even more, we just need to get rid of all of them. We get rid of all of them and then get new cops and have them trained properly, not by the garbage cops, not by Israel, but, maybe by some of our own, community, so that they could be part of the community, It's because the cops are a big deal too. It's like, oh, how do we get rid of the bad apples? We fire them all. That's all. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's one possible way of going forward. But really, there has to be a change in the body of society. That means individual by individual. So everybody's got to stand up. It's not just the cops that are fucking shit up there. They happen to be the servants of the overlords who are enforcing the bullshit on the population. They're a big part of the problem. If the cops would stand down during a protest and join forces with the protest like they rarely do on planet Earth, we would have social change times 10. But they don't do that. They are the enforcers of these bad laws and these fake laws. And they're corrupt. The fucking extortion, robbery, murder. So yeah, I'm with you on the cops, but it's in the individuals, one by one, where the change has to occur. And then we get some kind of momentum, some kind of 100th monkey syndrome where everybody's standing up, and we're going to get there someday. They're still good on planet Earth, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. That's why I brought up Lord of the Rings, because I ain't giving up. You ain't giving up. The day you give up is the day you shut your fucking YouTube channel off and you don't come back. That's the day you give up.
I don't know how to give up. It's not something that I do. I don't know how to do that. It's, if I was going to do that on YouTube, it obviously would have happened long ago.
Yeah, well, you're doing good work. In my own way, I'm telling you to look for the positive. I'm not telling you to shine a light, not to shine a light on the negative, like the cops and Palestine and corruption and senators.
That's the thing, is that's what, I don't see changing. It's like, because I'm not the only one shining the light. We all experienced 9/11. We all saw a war based on lies in Iraq that Dick Cheney and the Bush family made billions off of. And they're just going to walk away. And we all know this shit.
Yeah, well, in a way, you and I, as activists, are standing on the shoulders of the people that came way before us and spent their lives trying to make the world and society and America and whatever country they lived in a better place. It happens in every country. It would take me a year to find the words to describe why it takes so long to change society, but apparently it does, and it's not a fucking sprint where you can, I'm going to be an activist, and you go for a couple of years, and now I give up. That's not activism. Activism is a lifelong vocation that you try to balance you're surviving in your own life against giving to society, which is what you're doing every day on YouTube. You're trying to give to society. You're trying to shine a light on evil, and I do it in my way. And there's still good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. So what can I say? Nothing. Since fucking when do we get half of what we want anyways? Doesn't mean we don't try. We got to just keep trying, forward or march or die or whatever it is you say, So that's where I'm at, man. It's like I don't expect any fucking miracles overnight. It's like I'm looking at the beauty in the world, and I'm concentrating on the beauty in myself, and I'm trying to manifest on multiple dimensions at once, etherically and emotionally and spiritually and physically, and just trying to be a multi-dimensional human being. And it's a fucking fight. It's a historical fight of a lifetime to fight these monsters that rule planet Earth, or at least they think they rule planet Earth, and they're doing great damage. But I don't know, man. Thank God for marijuana, because If I hadn't just smoked a couple of hits before I came on, I probably wouldn't. My mind wouldn't be working so fast, and my mouth wouldn't be spewing out all this bullshit. But this is the truth, as I see it, man. It's like we're in a spiritual battle. It's not like, oh, we're here on earth and heaven's way up there. It's like the spiritual world is intertwined with the physical world every day. Every smile you give, every time you give 50 cents to a homeless person, or whatever you do, gift cards, anything you do.
Look, I walk around and I say hi to people, and I experience an amazing planet, okay? But listening to you, it just makes me think of Pink Floyd, and when they've given you their all, some stagger and fall. After all, it's not easy banging your heart against some mad bugger's wall.
Yeah, well, I don't actually know which song that was. That wasn't The Wall, was it?
Outside the Wall.
Oh, Outside. Yeah, I never bought The Wall. I like fucking Dark Side of the Moon and Animals much better. But, and the people that don't do the best they can as human beings on planet Earth, they end up like that fucking song Dogs by Pink Floyd. In the end, you'll go down, you'll pack up, go down south and hide your head in that sand, just another sad old man all alone and dying of cancer. Well, that's not my fate, I don't need a lead role in a cage, I'd rather have a walk-on part in The War, because I don't need the glory.
That's The Wall. You're quoting The Wall. I thought you liked the dog.
No, that's Wish You Were Here. I'm quoting.
Oh, see, that one I can't believe you didn't bring up, because I think that's their best album. I love that album.
Yeah, well, that's definitely one of the greatest songs. It's in the top 50 of songs, that I consider the best songs.
Yeah.
So, it's a great song, and it tells all about the fuck. Of course, it's about Syd Barrett too, a little bit, but it tells about the struggle.
It tells about making a deal with the devil to become giant rock stars, and then after their next album, by coincidence, Dark Side of the Moon became the top one. It became the longest album ever to be on the top 100 charts. So, first one, Wish You Were Here, is about making a deal with the devil, and then the second one after it, the first one after it becomes like one of the biggest albums ever. I find it interesting.
Sure, Wish You Were Here came before Dark Side of the Moon? I thought it came after.
Absolutely, positively sure.
Okay. Well, it's a great song, and it talks about what our perception. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain, a steel rail, or can you tell a cool breeze from a cold steel rail? Did they get you to trade your heroes for gold, hot ashes for trees? It's a great song about betraying your own soul on planet Earth, and or not. And so what I'm saying to you, Michael, is that you have not betrayed your soul. You're still in the fight. Stay positive, man. There's still beauty in this world, and I try to concentrate on the beauty, and I try to take as many people with me on the surviving side as I can, and that's what I'm doing, dude. And I thank God for marijuana.
Yeah, well, that's that's another big part of it. I mean, I guess seeing the people win state after state for legalization may actually give some hope for progress, because again, the people are standing up for the life that they would like to have, as opposed to just letting the police state dictate what they have.
Well, if Dick Cheney had smoked marijuana his whole life, he never would have shot his friend's face off. He wouldn't have been in on 9/11, and he would have just become an old grumpy farmer somewhere, and wouldn't have been so involved in all the butcherous American empire,
and probably wouldn't have needed 3 heart transplants.
Yeah, well, fuck those people. They're the exact opposite of us. The whole the whole New American Century bullshit. And
Yeah.
you know, all fucking Michael Chertoff and all those fucking people, and George Bush and Barack Obama and
Yeah,
the fucking
I know.
Clintons, fuck them all.
I got to take a break, Mike.
I'll talk to you later, my friend.
Okay, it's
You're
good.
doing good.
It's good to hear from you.
Take care.
All right, I'm going to play the video about the police cover-up here, in which they murdered this person, and then they covered it up saying that he crashed his vehicle into a tree, and he died in the car crash. And then it wasn't revealed what actually happened until 2 years later, and it was revealed by an anonymous source sending the video to the Associated Press. This is the only way we know about this, and I think it probably shows who cops are, because they arrested and fired 2 cops, and obviously in order to hide this video for years and years, 2 years, a whole bunch more than two cops were in on it, and every single one of those sick fucks should be on trial. And I'll play that video for you now. Police cover-up. Killer cop cover-up.
CNN has learned that 2 Louisiana officers involved in the death of a black man in police custody will be fired. Now, this follows a stunning development in the case, which raises fresh concerns of a police cover-up. Louisiana State Police now say the senior officer on the scene of Ronald Green's deadly arrest didn't initially report his own body camera footage. Green died after what state troopers now describe as resisting arrest and a struggle with officers, but his family says they were told Green died in a car crash after a police chase. CNN's Nick Valencia has been on this story and joins us now. So, Nick, what more do we know about these firings, and any more information on why this new video that's come to light was kept from the initial investigation?
Hey there, Erica. Good afternoon. This is a tragedy that continues to unravel, and with every major development, or with every even minor development here, it seems to add merit to the family's insistence that there was a cover-up in the death of Ronald Green. To these arrests first, 2 sources with knowledge of the investigation tell us that the 2 troopers seen in that brutal arrest video of Ronald Green repeatedly punching, tasing, and even dragging him will be terminated by the Louisiana State Police. One of those sources telling me that the arrests are imminent and will happen soon, but did not give a timeline. A second source telling my colleague CNN Ryan Young that those arrests were supposed to happen last week, but did not, and they did not elaborate on that. And then today we're also learning of this significant development of body cam footage from the highest ranking trooper at the arrest scene that was not part of the initial investigation. We reached out to Louisiana State Police to find out why, and this is what they sent me in a statement here, saying, quote, upon continued administrative review of the incident, personnel discovered 3 videos utilized in the internal affairs investigation were not part of the evidence submitted to District Attorney Belton with the original case report. Of course, these videos were first made public by the Associated Press. Those video clips that were part of an arrest that happened more than 2 years ago, first being made public on Friday. And the family is furious. They believe, Erica, that this is a smoking gun evidence that there was a cover-up from the governor on down to the head of the state police. We should mention that the head of the state police at the time was Kevin Reeves, who is no longer with the department. But the family attorney, Lee Merritt, who we're about to talk to next, insists that this is further proof that there was a cover-up, insisting that not enough was done to help the life of Ronald Green. Erica.
Nick Valencia, appreciate the reporting. Thank you. And as Nick just mentioned, we are now joined by S. Lee Merritt, an attorney for Ronald Green's family. Mr. Merritt, good to have you with us. As Nick just mentioned, when you spoke with him earlier, you talked about a smoking gun of a cover-up. Are you confident at this point that you have seen all of the evidence, all of the video that is related to what happened to Ronald Green 2 years ago, or do you think there's something more?
Colonel Davis, the new colonel over the Louisiana State Police, made a representation to the family that he planned to release all the video evidence within his files. In the files that he dumped on last Friday, we found new videos that we had never seen before, videos that we were told were either of no evidentiary value or they didn't exist. And so, no, at this point, we can't take anyone at their word. We think that Colonel Davis is doing his level best to be as transparent about what actually happened. But at this point, we're going to need to go over all of the evidence with a fine-tooth comb. We believe that District Attorney Belton should have another opportunity to turn on the evidence and decide whether or not to bring criminal state charges. And certainly there should be a pattern and practice investigation into the entire Louisiana State Police apparatus.
And do you believe that will happen?
I believe that it's happening already. And so we've been in contact with federal investigators since September. We were told that with the new administration taking over, that U.S. attorneys would be looking at it anew, but we're certainly participating with that process, and we're looking forward to a presentation to both a federal grand jury, but I can't emphasize enough, these are state-level crimes, and the state has a responsibility to take action as well.
Nick also just reporting for us that CNN has learned these two officers will be terminated, and that the arrests were actually supposed to happen last week. Has any of that been communicated to you or to the family?
Well, the arrest was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but no, that hasn't been officially communicated with us. We've heard a rumor of terminations. Nick went back and forth between the word termination and arrest. We are demanding that these officers be arrested. But the only thing we've got back was conversations about termination. And look, if I beat someone to death on the job and then I lie about it in all the reports and that evidence comes out, the last thing I'm worried about is whether or not I'm going to keep my job. I should lose my freedom, and that's what we're waiting for.
As we look at what happened, I think for a lot of people who are just learning about what happened to Mr. Green and what the family was.
All right, so you guys get the gist of it. Again, this is one of these things where, these are the people that are supposed to be the pillars of the community, right? When you have no other option, you call these guys to the rescue. And obviously, they can't be trusted with that kind of power. And it's really sad because when you have that kind of power, if you abuse it in any way, you should never ever be trusted with it again. Like I keep saying about the politicians and such. So, we don't have any phone callers, and I have videos to play. So I will go ahead and play videos until there's my beautiful babies. Aren't they pretty? Great pictures, huh? Let's see. I will play videos until we get a phone caller because I have many videos. Okay, so let's do a video about side effects from the vaccine in teens, because I think this is an important video to see. Side effects from the COVID vaccine happening in teens, and the reason I bring it up is because it's not a sore arm and this, it's something that seems important. And if you knew that this was a potential side effect in your teen, is the vaccine something you would still want to do? That's the real question. So vaccine side effects in teens is number 8.
Well, the CDC is looking into reports that teenagers who have gotten a COVID vaccine are experiencing heart inflammation. King 5's Britt Moore is live in Seattle with what we know so far. Britt?
Greg, we know right now this investigation is still in its early stages. Health officials right now are looking into whether or not these reported heart problems in teens are actually caused by the COVID vaccine.
Arms relaxed. A CDC advisory panel says it's looking into reports that a few young people who've received the COVID vaccine are experiencing rare cases of heart inflammation, also called myocarditis.
So first, what is myocarditis? It's basically an inflammation of the heart muscle. It can be caused by lots of viruses. And in fact, this time of year is sort of when we start to see a few of these cases.
During Monday's Washington State Hospital Association COVID briefing, Dr. John Lynch with UW Medicine said health officials are seeing a small number of cases in Washington.
There's about 10 to 22 per 100,000 cases of myocarditis that we see every year. It's rare, but it is definitely something that's on pediatricians' minds.
Doctors say symptoms in teens and young adults may include fever, fainting, and difficulties breathing. The CDC says a majority of the cases were reported after the second dose, and most cases appear to be mild. In Washington, the Department of Health data shows that close to 20% of 16 and 17-year-olds have received their second dose.
The first thing to know is that the numbers remain extremely low. And yes, some of these are happening after vaccination, but just like everything else, we know that things happen after vaccination that would have happened with or without that vaccine.
Experts say it's a good thing this is being looked into because it shows how close scientists are monitoring vaccine safety.
The State Department of Health says it will continue to work alongside the CDC and other health officials to investigate the small number of cases. Live in Seattle tonight, Britt Moore, King 5 News.
Britt, thank you.
All right, there's my beautiful babies, and there's my beautiful baby. Down by the river, where he loves being down by the river. And I can tell you that good things are happening with Rufus. When it used to be, when I get out of bed, Rufus always sleeps at the foot of my bed. So when I get out of bed, I go and sit down at his level, and he'd come over, and he'd put his head right in the center of my chest, right, and he'd just be right there in the center of my chest for like a minute, and like with his forehead, you know, and he hadn't done that for a few months, and then on Saturday I woke up and he came over and he put his head right in my chest and he just started rubbing it up and down, like like you ever seen a tiger rub on a big old tree or something on a rock? You know, they do that to say, I own this space. Stay the fuck away from me. Stay the fuck away from here. I own this. This is my territory. So I was really glad to feel him do that. That really made my day so much I can't even begin to tell you. It's a heck of a good way to start the day. And I love my Boo Bear. The drunken Rocky. Oh, Rocky. Sheeple. So I have a couple more videos. I have a video about a Make-A-Wish Foundation child that was medically abused by her mother. So I thought that was an important story. I believe it's a local story. It's on the local news, and I don't know what kind of people do this, you know. I hate the medical community, even though we need it. It's like, you know, they say this woman was like, abusing her daughter, making it the doctors do all these things that she didn't need to have done. And it seems like to me that the doctors are somewhat at fault too. If she doesn't need to have these things done, the doctors should recognize that and say, yeah, she doesn't need it. It would be unethical for me to do what it is you're saying she needs done, because I'm the doctor and I don't see that that's what she needs done. Because she looks like a really sweet, perfectly healthy girl. And I can't imagine being tortured like this, especially by your mom. So I have that video coming up also. In case we don't get any phone callers, I'm going to play it very soon. But first, let me play the white privilege card because, I get to do that.
Trump won the election. Among the suspects' possessions, this is real, a white privilege card. I want you to take a look at this. It's a fake white privilege credit card. Subtitle, Trump's everything. The card holder, scot-free, with 2 T's. Scot-free is actually spelled with 1 T, but, 2 T's on that card. That one piece of evidence, an insight into the man's state of mind, that he can get away with anything because of his skin color. His lawyer saying this to CNN. This was a guy...
And when they've given their all, some stagger and fall. After all, it's not easy, banging your heart against some mad booger's wall. Mad bugger's wall. After all, it's not easy, banging your heart against some mad I wonder why I have so much trouble saying that word. Hello, caller.
Michael, you son of a bitch.
What's happening?
What's up, man? God damn, Craig just had me laughing my ass off. I'm fucking wiping tears off my face right now.
You're cutting out there, but yeah, Craig can be pretty dang funny when he wants to. That's why I try and get him to come on the TV more, on the video.
You should have Craig on the show more, dude.
I'm willing to put him right up in the other corner, but you ask him why he doesn't do that. You tell me.
Yo, Craig, what the fuck, bro? Craig's an entertainment powerhouse. You should have him on the show.
I know this, and I've tried to get him more involved, and he doesn't want to be, I don't know.
Yo, Craig, what the fuck, dog? That's bullshit.
Because I agree.
Step it up, Craig.
I told him again and again.
Motherfucker.
He is cray.
Craig, bro. He busted out his George Bush impression. He busted out his Beavis and Butthead. I was fucking dying.
He's pretty good at that.
Fantastic.
You should hear him rap.
No way, Craig raps. Yo, let's get Craig in the corner right now and have him do some fucking rap.
He will blow your
Craig,
fucking mind.
Please. Please, I will donate right now if you fucking bust some rhymes, Craig.
We'll see. I don't know why he's not on camera. Like I said, I've asked him again and again to be more on camera, and it's up to him. I can't push him too hard.
He's shy. He's not shy with me, but I guess he's shy.
He's not shy. He has alternative motives, I'm sure. He's worried someone will see him acting cray. I've been trying. Look, before I ever started making on-camera videos, I was like, dude, you should be making on-camera videos, because one of the things that he loves to do is talk, and he's very good at talking. So, and he comes across.
Yeah, you should have him as a co-host every now and then.
And he's funny as fuck. I mean, when he's on camera, he can, even not when he's on camera, he makes all kinds of interesting observations. So I've tried.
Tears out of my face right now.
You call him and you ask him, and we'll see. Maybe you'll have better luck than me.
He just busted out his whole fucking repertoire when I called.
Well, no,
you didn't hear him a little while.
You didn't hear him rap yet. Like I said, you wait until you hear him spitting some rhymes, man.
Yo, Craig, I'll do the beatbox. And we'll hear some fucking Craig rhymes, please.
That does sound pretty fun.
Yo, Craig, are you tempted? Yo, if Craig was really a hot MC, he'd be fucking all about that. He'd be jumping on this shit. Like flies on shit. That's alright.
So, what's going on, Pete?
Not much, bro. I just wanted to call in.
Well, thanks.
You guys are talking about the police.
Fuck the police.
So I figured I'd call in. Yeah, I'm not a fuck the police type of guy.
No, I wish I wasn't. It's not my fault. I don't want to be that way. It's like they don't give me other options.
I don't like the police. I mean, the police have fucked my life up a lot. But I'm not a fuck the police. I'm not an anarchist, dude. But you guys are talking about community policing. I think that's really the key. That's really what I wanted to call in and talk about was community policing. Is that policing should be by community. Every state should have their own. That's what the USA is all about, man. The states' rights, right? And every state should have their own different policing policy, right? And because it's different state to state, right? Not every state's the same. That's why federal government governance sucks, because you can't govern a giant country like the United States with one blanket policy, right?
I don't know that that's not true. I mean, you can see injustice, like Bernie Sanders saying, cannabis being illegal is institutionalized racism. That's the way he expressed it. But it's obviously injustice being done everywhere. And so you could go, hey, cannabis, with the stroke of a pen, Joe Biden could say cannabis is now decriminalized. No one will be penalized for that anymore.
No, fuck that, dude. It should be by states. It should be a state-by-state basis, and people within those states should be able to decide what they want the legality of cannabis to be. And if you're one of those people that's super anti-cannabis for whatever reason, then you should be allowed to live in a state that's anti-cannabis. Most people
if that's
would not agree with
unjust,
that.
if that's unjust to the population, regardless if it's a small percentage of the population, let's say 40%, and 50% doesn't want it, then again, this is being unjust. It's an unjust society, and it's like having restaurants that say whites only. Is that what you want too?
No, look. You're taking you're taking what I'm saying completely out of context. Look, bro, I just believe in people's rights, and that's why our founding fathers. I hate to bring them back to the founding fathers, but yeah, it's that they designed it this way so that states and local communities have rights to what they want. You know what I mean? Like that's how it should be. The people of the states should be able to govern their communities, and that's how it should be.
So if they want whites only restaurants, they should be able to do that.
I don't think that would work. I don't think any state would agree with that. But it's all about democracy, man. It's all about community. Whatever. If there's some shitty community of white supremacist douchebags that have that little corner of the country, yeah, let them fucking, yeah.
No.
I would say yes. Let them fucking. It's all about what the people want, bro. You gotta let the people have what they want. That's what state rights is all about.
Yeah, the problem with that is that, I don't know. I want to see people treated equally. That's the main thing. Is I want to see people treated equally. Do you not want that?
Of course I fucking do, dude.
But if people don't want to do that, you're good with that.
Dude, I'm all about not having a federal authority have supreme rule over states. That's what I don't want to have. States' rights. And that would never happen, Mike. There's no state that would support a whites-only, not let black people eat at restaurants. There's no state that would fucking have that happen. That's fucking insane.
I hope not. I hope you're right.
No, there isn't.
Have you ever been to Louisiana or Texas?
No, I haven't, but I've been to Florida, and it's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. I don't think anyone in Florida.
Well, you go to Louisiana and see if you say the same thing.
Well, people are people. I think people at their heart are people. No one really spoke that. Look, I'm coming back to the states' rights point, man. It's all about states, communities, letting communities, have their own rights, and fuck having a federal government impose their fucking stupid laws because they think they know what's best, and impose it. And Killer Mike, go fuck yourself. He's talking shit in the fucking chat.
Oh yeah.
Killer Mike, you can suck my fucking dick. Killer Mike, what is up with this fucking guy? All right, let's change the subject right now.
Let's change the subject. Craig is ready to do a rap with you if you're ready to
Craig,
to beatbox. You have to beatbox, otherwise he can't do it. Hold on.
Back in a minute. I'm trying to still help my buddy on his live YouTube show right now. So give me about a half hour here and we'll figure it out.
Okay, oh shit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Craig is writing on a notepad right now as we speak.
Turn it up in the headphones. I don't know if they can hear me on the
show.
Turn
my headphones up.
Hold on, can you guys hear me live on the show or not? Because I can't. If I bring the volume up down here, it'll feed back.
You're not. Oh, yeah, you're talking. Let's see. Anybody hear Craig?
I can hear you. I can hear him, but his audio quality is not as good
Well,
as
that's
yours.
because it's coming through the speakers on Mike's computer. I don't think I can bring the audio.
Oh, there we
in.
go. Okay, you're a little better now.
Yo, turn it up in the headphones, yo. They just call me DJ White Boy
Oh
in
my
the
god, dude!
house.
I'm so excited to hear this.
You got a beatbox.
What are we doing?
You're gonna
Give me-
spit some rhymes,
yo,
man.
Give me a funky beat, yo. What's up, Pete? Where's that funky
Yo,
beat?
Craig, are you gonna drop a beat and rap?
We're going East
it.
Coast, West Coast, boy. Yeah, What's
Bro,
up, boy? Yeah.
Pete,
I will
Pete,
shit
I
my
gotta hear a
pants
beatbox.
if fucking Craig drops a beat and a rhyme right now.
well, beatbox. You said you'd beatbox, and he'll drop the rhymes. He'll spit some rhymes, man. Let's go.
Yo, you.
Pete, some game, Pete. What you got? You got nothing.
Well,
Stage
dude, if
fright.
I beatbox, I don't think this is gonna work. If I beatbox from Rhode Island, then the lag.
No, there's no
Yo,
lag. I can
there's
hear
no
you in
lag
real time,
right
bro.
now.
I'm like on the
Yo, you
screen
want
real
me?
time.
I will fucking beatbox right now, Craig. Don't you challenge me.
Let's
you
hear
better
it.
Fucking spit
Rap
some fire,
battle.
dog.
Let's do
Talk is cheap, man.
God damn it! I got to beatbox right now. All right, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. Fuck you, motherfuckers.
Come on.
All
Let's.
right, it's gonna be basic. It's gonna be pretty basic. I'll do it.
Well, how about I beatbox and you come up with the rhymes.
Craig will beatbox, and you spit some rhymes, dude.
No, I never said I could rhyme. That's
But
what
you
Craig
did
said.
say you
Craig
could
said-
beatbox.
I said I could beatbox. I didn't say I could freestyle.
We're
Craig said
waiting.
he could freestyle. All right.
All right, I'm thinking up a rhyme here about
Alright,
Pete.
Don't judge
Go.
me for this, you fucking cunt. My key is basic.
You asked for it.
I got to tell you about a boy named Pete. He goes rolling on his board and he's got some stinky feet, and I'm running up the rhymes because I can make it happen anytime. Now, come on, you got to give me a beat. I can't just rhyme off the hook like a goofy white boy here.
He can't hear.
Okay, hold on. Let me feel it here. Let me feel that beat. Come on, where's it at? Sounds like you're sipping on a drink. Give me some bass. Okay, what do we got? Oh my god. All right. Well, we can't use
This
any
requires
real beats
a lot
because
more
we get
lung
copyright
capacity
infringement.
than I anticipated.
It's okay. Hey, no, your lips are dry. Go get you a beer. Go get you a beer. Meantime, I'm gonna eat on this big old East Coast sandwich. This is like the original. It's called Pat's Delicatessen, and it's an East Coast big ass fucking Italian sub. Look at that thing, man. It's loaded. Anyway, Pete, I love you, bro, but we can't make this East Coast West Coast thing happen. You're not flying the right flag. Wrong colors, bro. Like Snoop Dogg would say,
Yo,
right?
fuck you.
You gotta
East
fly
Coast
your
all
blue
day,
flag
bro.
in your left pocket, right? Isn't that what Snoop said? Anyway, so you see this dog
you ain't
like
got
right here below me, that dog?
got no
That's
love
Sammy.
for Dr. Dre in the West Coast? We know what fuck we at. I wasn't Source Awards.
Oh, I'm gonna do a little rapping for you today. We're gonna go some freestyle. My name is Tie My Shoe. That's my DJ rap name. How you beat that, huh? You come down my place. You bring friend, I give you discount. You say you want fried rice? I make you fried rice. You want the mushu? We make you the mushu.
Ooh, I like Mushu.
Everybody likes the mushu, right? Isn't that? What's that movie?
Why you
with
gotta
Jackie
make me
Chan?
freestyle, Craig? You could so easily just pull up some basic beat off of
Can't,
fucking whatever that you can freestyle to. Let's see those fucking freestyle skills, son.
We
I wanna see it.
didn't put you. Hey, you're the one who said you'll drop some beats for Craig if he just get up and do it, and he jumped through hoops to make it happen, and then you're like whining about him asking you to drop some beats, man.
Someone's calling us. Let's join them up.
Well,
and see
I'm
what
out
they
of
say.
breath. I run out of breath after fucking 30 seconds. What the fuck? I'm a pot smoker. I'm not a fucking beat machine, motherfucker.
Do not blame the cannabis.
No, if Craig is such an ill freestylist, you know, he should be able to bust out some shit. You know, pull up some simple beat off of YouTube or whatever, and we should be able to hear Craig hit some dope ass freestyle. I want to hear that.
Okay, well, I guess you'll have to.
No, we're good. Oh shit, my head got cut off here. Somebody was trying to call Mox News on the Skype line. They wanted to join into our call, and I had to dip them out. I'm like, what the hell is that? We don't want those guys on the line.
Who knows the
Anyway.
Skype line?
It's Mox News. If someone looks it up, they can call us. So
okay.
that's out there. You're public, dog. You're big. You're big in Japan, too. You know that?
Japan. They love us in Japan.
They do. They got the karate show. Shotokan, yeah! Ooh! I'm a black belt.
Yo, Craig, just pull up some
I'm
generic
brown
ass
belt.
beat and kick some fucking rhymes, dog. Let's see it.
I don't know, man. Okay, so I'm not high or nothing. That's the problem. I'm just sitting here stone cold sober.
All right.
If I have a couple puffs, I can rap.
Craig, next time, Craig, I want to see you get high as fuck and fucking throw some rhymes at us, dog.
If we got a Friday where I don't got to work on a Saturday, I will. But so the problem is, unlike most people, if I smoke, I'm really slow in the morning, and I get weed hangover. A lot of people don't have that problem. They smoke because they don't get high. I mean, they don't get hungover in the morning.
Listen to this.
If I smoke,
I'm hearing a lot of excuses right now. That's
Don't blame the cannabis.
Sure.
We got to get you some. We got to
He's
get.
trying to back out of it. I'm not going to let him back out of it right now.
We got to get you some.
Tell this fucking person to quit calling.
It's Manny.
Fuck Manny. I'm not putting Manny on the line. Now I got a 414. Let's see who's calling through on the line. Hold on. This is going to be fun. Can you guys hear the phone ringing down here? Here, listen to this. Area code 414. This is Larry King on Mox News. Who am I speaking to? I'm not a pedophile. If you're calling the show to speak to Mox, you've got the wrong number. Hello? Hello? Are we hearing you? This is Larry King for Mox News. Hello? Area code 414. Hello?
You're fucking making Larry King sound like a fucking Hasid from Brooklyn. Jesus
I can't
Christ.
hear you. Call back.
He kind of
Hello,
sounds like
this
he's
is
from
Larry
Brooklyn.
King for Mox News. I'm calling about garlic. No, wait. I'm calling about this here submarine sandwich. Eat enough of these and you'll get heart disease. Nah, they're good for you. Yeah, I fuck with people sometimes when they call. If a call comes in and I don't recognize the area code, that's how I answer. I go, area code 615. It's Larry King on Mox News. You're live. And they're like, what? Larry King? I'm like, yes, Larry
Craig,
King.
you gotta your H's. You gotta do that.
You see, the problem is my yarmulke doesn't fit me very well. So I have trouble when I do that. I can't say those words very well.
Yarmulke.
Larry King.
Yarmulke.
That's right. My yarmulke. First time I saw that word spelled, I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is a yarmulke?
You called it Yama cake.
Yarmulke.
What is Yama cake?
Put on your yarmulke. Here comes the Hanukkah. Oh, shit. Sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of Adam Sandler. He's my boy. He's my favorite Jew, just so you know. I love Adam Sandler. That boy can make me laugh and laugh and laugh. Although the Drew Barrymore movies with him, not so good. Pete.
I'm playing with the cock and balls.
I got your cock and balls right here, boy. You know they say that some guys need a black belt? Who the hell have we got another area code 414? God damn it, area code 414. If I told you once, I've told you a million times. Don't interrupt the Pete show. God damn it. No, what I was trying to tell you is I have a brown belt. But it's only to hold up my gut and man boobs. You want to see? There you go, right there, my brown belt. All right.
Larry King wears suspenders.
Mike, this is the best show you've ever had, right here.
All right, area code 414.
Thanks.
Again, tell us what you want to say. You're live.
See, I think you can understand now why Craig's not on the
Breaking news.
show.
We got important things to say. Hold on, we got important things to say right here. What do we got?
Hair in your hairline is awful.
My hairline is awful. I know this. I look like a pedophile. Let me ask you this. Just because I'm 52, is it a crime to like 19 and 20-year-old girls? That's the best thing since my
Mike, I see where Mike's coming from. We need to have a Craig segment, though. We definitely need to have a Craig segment.
That makes sense.
We have like a Craig time where we bring Craig in for like 15 minutes, and he fucking does his
do
thing.
yourself a favor. Forget you ever
I
called
think
this
that's a
number.
very good idea.
And go tell your mother to suck your fucking dick. All right. Okay.
He learned that from you, Pete.
Go fucking suck a dick. Your mother's gonna be mad at you. Don't call me a pedophile just because I like young women. It's like Viagra. I don't need it. You just put a hot 20-year-old in front of the old man and say, sit on Grandpa's lap right here. All right? Sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. No old men would need Viagra if they were just dating the young, beautiful women. That's all we need. You old, ugly hags, you're not doing it for us, all right? This is Larry King for Viagra.
Dude, Larry King does not sound anything like that. That sounds like a fucking Jewish deli owner.
It's a character. It's a characterization of Larry King, obviously.
It's not even close. Bro. Not even close. If you were doing a Hasid impression, I'd be okay. All right, I'm with it. But that's yeah.
Do not come back to my store right now. I'm telling you, stay away from my store. You leave me alone. I tell you, no more stealing beer from my store.
All right, Craig. Mike, cut him off. Can you cut him off? I think we've had
No,
enough.
I'm gonna go play a video because I have a couple videos left to play.
Video time. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna go back to being the producer of the show. I don't get paid to do this, so it's fun though. That's why I'm sitting there every night.
Thanks for
Craig
being.
got carried away. That's what
Thanks, Craig. It's good.
Invest in the Dogecoin, and if you want, there's a new female that's involved in crypto, and her coin legitimately is called the Australian Shepherd. They call it the ass coin, and she says she's holding her ass with diamond hands. Swear to God, look it up. It's going to be the next up-and-comer, a female in the crypto industry.
It's the new Bitcoin. Ass. Ass is the new Bitcoin.
It is, because it sucks ass.
Ass or apps?
Ass. A-S-S. Ass.
You know what happened?
Ass coin? There's an ass coin?
There's an ass coin. Yes, there is.
Yeah, for real,
No
ass
way.
coin.
Ass coin.
Chinese gangster bust a fat cap into ass. Bam, bam. All right, and on that note, I'm out.
Okay.
That's not a...
All right, Pete.
Oh,
I'm gonna
good
play a
call.
video. So thanks for calling. It's good to hear from you.
Here, kill me right here. There you go.
All right, Pete.
We're ringing.
Yo, I didn't... You gonna let me do my sign-off? What
Yeah,
the fuck?
man. I'm not cutting you off. I said, are you there, Pete? I'm not cutting you off.
You're cutting me off right now. I'm not even, I didn't even start to talk about what I wanted to talk about.
What did you want to talk about, Pete?
I want to talk about so many things, Michael.
Well, now's your chance.
But if you're gonna cut me off, fine. You be like that. All right. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna say praise Allah, and lay off the beer and lay off the metal, Dr. Whisper. That's what I'm gonna say. All right.
Okay.
Praise Allah.
Okay, I hope we hear from you on Friday. And there's my beautiful babies when they're just little teeny tiny babies. And there's my beautiful babies when they were teenagers. And there's my beautiful baby now with the big belly. He's got a big belly. From eating pizza and donuts. You like eating and cheeseburgers. He eats a lot of cheeseburgers. What a beautiful baby. All right, so, and like I said, I've tried to get Craig to participate in the show a lot more, and hopefully we like Pete said, we can get a Craig segment for normal, regular thing. I think that would be cool. Now, that being said, I want to play this video about Make-A-Wish Foundation child, which was medically abused by her mother, her adoptive mother, and I don't know what kind of person would do this. But again, it's one of these humanity stories that you have to look at and go, what the fuck is happening? So I wanted to play that for you because I think it's important to see and something we might want to talk about.
And first at 10, a Q13 News exclusive, a Renton mother facing some shocking allegations of medical child abuse. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Rose.
And Emiliana Gomez, this is a case prosecutors say is unlike anything they've ever seen in recent memory. Q13 News reporter Olivia Lavoie joins us live from the newsroom with this exclusive story. Olivia.
Well, Aliana, this is a type of criminal case that is extremely rare, and it began with a series of doctors who started to feel a local child was being given unnecessary medical treatment at the urging of her mother. The 6-year-old was a local Make-A-Wish kid, the focus of a social media page and various fundraisers. But doctors say the girl is perfectly healthy. Court documents lay out the lengthy and complex investigation of alleged medical child abuse against 31-year-old Sophie Hartman. Hartman adopted her now 6-year-old daughter as an infant from Africa. Court documents say since the child was 2 years old, she's had nearly 500 medical appointments. Among the unnecessary medical procedures prosecutors claim the child has had is a type of feeding tube surgically implanted. Investigators say Hartman has also made the child use leg braces in a wheelchair, despite medical professionals telling her the child does not need them. The warrant also dives into a medical diagnosis of a rare neurological disease called AHC. During the investigation, a Seattle children's doctor told detectives based on medical findings the child does not have the disease. Here is Hartman discussing the disease as part of a Make-A-Wish video.
At any given time, with no warnings, Carmel can go paralyzed completely. She can lose the ability to talk. She can go into all types of different seizures and have extreme pain. It's really tough.
A year after her daughter was given her wish, Hartman spoke at a Make-A-Wish fundraiser.
Has been likened to a time bomb. That is a human time bomb for which there is no cure. For us, this is just what life looks like. It's navigating constant traumatic chaos.
A statement from the Make-A-Wish Foundation reads in part, "We are deeply saddened and dismayed to learn about the alleged child abuse case involving one of our former Wish families. We hope this matter is quickly remedied in the best interest of the child." Investigators say after the girl was removed from her mother's care in March and observed at a local hospital that there was no findings or symptoms to support any of the child's prior medical diagnoses and that all evidence suggests she is healthy. Investigators also zeroed in on a diary entry in which Hartman allegedly wrote, "When it comes to suffering, I am a compulsive liar, exaggerator." Now, Hartman has been charged with assault of a child in the second degree and attempted assault of a child in the second degree. A statement from her attorneys reads in part, "These charges are based on false statements and misrepresentations of the medical record by a doctor at Seattle Children's Hospital who has never seen the child or spoken with Ms. Hartman. Ms. Hartman is innocent of these charges." And we have the full statement and more details on the case on our website, Q13Fox.com. Hartman is not currently in custody. She's scheduled to appear in court on June 3rd.
So that was like a horrific story, huh? Again, I don't know what kind of people wouldn't be there to protect children, especially when you sign up for that deal. You know, I mean, it's like, I think that would just be your top priority. And yet, which again is why I say cops shouldn't have kids, cops shouldn't have wives. But that being said, I don't know how people could abuse. Again, and what I see is that there's some responsibility here for the doctors, because it sounds like this has gone on for years and years and years. And doctors can get all the other doctors' records, so they can find out, you know, what's actually going on. And it seems like medical abuse went on for years and years and years, and nobody spoke up. So it's kind of a horrific story, but I thought that you should see it because it's certainly not a waste of time. So let's see, what should we do next? Play another video? Craig just gets some asshole who keeps calling him. So if anybody wants to call, the number's right there on the screen. 805-669-6397. 805-MOX News. Okay, so I have two videos left. I have one that is about the economic inequality from Bloomberg today, which, you know, that's their top concern is economic inequality. And one about the origins of COVID. Again, you know, I don't know how we can have this, you know, places that labs that create these deadly viruses that could basically kill every living human being. I don't know how we can have that, you know, and not think that it's going to kill every human being. We saw, look, the discussion now is that the COVID-19 came out of the lab in Wuhan. If that could come out, if that could willy-nilly walk out of the lab in Wuhan, then anything else could too. And it's not just Wuhan. These labs are everywhere around the world. And if that's what we're spending money on and our time on, and, you know, I mean, what hope is there that humanity will survive? You know, how can that be anywhere on the list of smart things to do, right? How is that a smart thing to do, to create these fucking plagues? How is that intelligent in any way, shape, or form? I don't get it. Not for 1 second, nor do I want to. So, let's see. Manny, missed call. Oh, Manny keeps calling the Skype. That's funny. Call the phone, Manny. Okay, so let's see. And someone else should call the phone before Manny does, because we want to talk to you just as much as we would like to talk to Manny, who calls every day. And it's nice that he calls, because he always has something to talk about. Sounds like we have a call coming in now. Hello, caller.
Hey, Max.
What's happening, Manny?
Hey, I tried to Skype you, though, but you don't answer.
Craig was on the Skype.
Yeah, well, I tried to call, before I called, before I made this call, and they don't answer at all. So, I mean, Craig is the gatekeeper and stuff, but he's not answering the Skype.
Craig, you know, Craig's the producer of the show, so if there's something going on, you know, that he thinks should come on the show, it comes on the show. If there's not something going on, then, you know, he stands back. But he runs it, so I'm not in charge of that. You know, I just cut the videos. I'm the fucking talent, okay?
Yeah, I understand.
No, like I said, talk to Craig about it. He'll let you know what he wants to do as far as that goes, Manny.
Nothing exclusive, nothing out of the ordinary, just, hey, boss, how's it going, type of thing.
Hey, that's how your conversations always go, Manny.
Yeah. So, slow music?
I don't know. I played numerous stories already.
I don't know, Max. I think humanity will survive, but we're going to be something else.
But what?
In fact, you know what? Humanity will survive, but we're going to be something else. In fact, you know what I think about the aliens? I think the Greys do exist, but they're us from the future.
From the future?
Yes.
Not from different planets?
No.
From this planet?
Yes. Or maybe they're from other planets, but they're descended from us. You know how evolution works? When you separate a species from into different lands, into different areas, and they never contact each other for generations.
Wait a minute. You believe in the rapture and evolution?
Yes, Max.
Okay. I thought they were kind of exclusive, like one or the other.
No. I mean, eventually you have to believe in a higher being, though. And the whole purpose of supporting Israel, and at least from the conservative standpoint, and this is real, Marx. This is not a troll. There is this belief that, especially with these evangelists, is that if we support the Jews from Israel, and eventually they take over the better.
I don't want to talk about Israel today, man. Okay?
Okay.
I don't have any Gaza videos. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. But, I mean, the theory goes when it comes to that if you grab a species and you put it in different labs, different settings, and they don't communicate with each other for generations, sometimes those generations can take years, hundreds of years, or thousands of years. Eventually, those generations of animals, they'll become their own species. or they're evolved so much that they're no longer compatible to each other. That's the theory. I think that's one of the darkest theories, I guess. Anyway, I have this weird feeling that the Greys, the aliens with the big heads and the small bodies and the big black eyes, they're just us, but they're evolving to a different way because of, I don't know, they live in other planets, or maybe they come from the future if we evolve that way.
So do you believe that some of the aliens come from other planets?
Maybe.
Okay.
But the question is, first of all, how are they related to us? Second of all, we need the technology, Mark. We need to make money out of the technology.
We can't handle their technology. They won't give us their technology. Hopefully, if they do contact us, they'll want to help us stop the mass extinction going on the planet and help us clean up all the pollution. Because that would be nice. We don't need a whole lot more technology from them than that.
Well, you know what pollution is, Max? So basically what we're doing is, okay, first of all, you know how oil is created, right? So basically it's a bunch of, I don't know, like a pond of dead animals and dead organisms all mixed together into a weird pond. And then they compress it and they're like on a hole for thousands and thousands of years after they become this really weird black tar. And then we subtract that, and because they're highly volatile and highly flammable, we use their energy to move cars and to move things. And sometimes some of the derivatives of that petroleum, we use it for clothing, we use it for medicine. I mean, there's people literally doing PhDs in organic chemistry. And organic chemistry basically came from petrochemicals, because they have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and other small components. And there's real and entire science behind that. And I mean, people can make a PhD out of that because you can make so many things with organic chemistry, though. And one of the main sources of organic chemistry is oil or petroleum.
Look, this fossil fuel shit, Manny, has got to stop. Okay, if this is an actual limited resource, which it clearly is, you're saying it takes thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years to create, then the people who come after us need it. And we need to find out how we can not use up every single drop. And I've heard people say that it is the blood of the earth. So maybe we're draining all the blood out of the earth, and what will happen then?
I thought the water was the blood of the earth. Anyways, no, seriously, you know that the actual lava molten rocks is what actually, the movement of that melting rock of the lava inside the mantle of the earth. It's what gives the earth the gravity and the magnetism, and that it's basically what holds things together. It's not water, it's not the oil, it's actually the magnet. And in fact, I took physics class. So there's a misconception that the closer you get to the center of the earth, the higher the gravity is, but it's not true. Actually, the gravity is higher between the center of the earth and the crust of the earth. It's basically where the major concentration of crust of earth together, and that's between the center and the surface of the earth. That's where the major mass amount of gravity is. So the theory is that the density of the earth, the density of the crust, is what creates gravity. And then there's another theory saying that the lava, the movement of flow of lava around the crust and between the center of the earth and the surface is creating the magnetism and the gravity within Earth. So when it comes to the blood of Earth, I think it's mostly the magma, the lava. I don't know. I feel like oil is more like the leftovers of previous generation of life. We eventually will become petroleum mugs, your body, the plants, or whatever's alive right now, when we die eventually, thousands and thousands and thousands of years from now, it will become oil. Petroleum.
Thousands and thousands of years from now is not what I'm worried about, okay? I'm worried about the generation that comes after us and the generation that comes after them, okay? I don't give a fuck about thousands and thousands of years from now.
Well, I mean, when it comes to oil, I think in one or two generations, we're gonna have enough petroleum for those generations, and we're still gonna be able to run the world on petroleum. The thing that worries me about for the next few generations, Max, especially what happened last year, is that sickness and biological warfare is going to evolve so rapidly that we're not going to be able to keep with it. And that might be the biggest threat to humanity than overpopulation or pollution or climate change, is the biological warfare. Think about it. If a coronavirus or like the virus that we had last year is just able to kill people in very quickly, though. Imagine if it gets into the wrong hands and some people start messing around and they start making, I don't know, like Ebola or the yellow fever or anthrax are very in aerosols or spray instead of saliva. Imagine if people can infect HIV using the last year virus. Like they mixed HIV and they mixed the last year virus. Now you can infect people with HIV in an aerosol way. That's more dangerous than climate change or overpopulation, and even worse, Max.
I agree. I've been talking about all night the creation of these deadly viruses in labs all around the world. Obviously, we've seen that they can get out, so that deadly virus creation needs to stop immediately, and everything that they've created needs to be destroyed immediately. Otherwise, there's no hope of humanity surviving.
And if you actually research what's happening last year, I mean, apparently this lab in Wuhan was using what is called gain of function. Gain of function is basically making things more stronger and mess around to make it more contagious.
Right. Make it pass from one person to the next more easily.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they were successful, though. Let's face it. What happened last year, that was because of it means that they were very successful in creating that one and creating a strain and like a collapse of the global economy. And this is going to lead to war, Max. It's just a matter of time before we go to actual war. But it shows you that if this virus gets into the wrong hands, they can actually mix it with anthrax, or they can mix it with Ebola, or they can mix it with, HIV or Super AIDS or something like that. And now you have these weird pathogens that it used to be contracted by the contact of liquid or like saliva or something like that. And now it's just right on the air. You just can get it just by inhaling right in the air.
Well, they've been telling us we can get it that way for the whole time, Manny. Right? That's why we're wearing the mask, right? Try and protect us. Hey, I gotta take a break, Manny. Okay, it's good to hear from you. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay. Like I said, these labs that produce these viruses, we've seen that they can get out. We've seen that they're not safe. It doesn't make any sense for any species to create something that could kill the entire planet. Everyone who lives. That's what they're doing, is they're creating these things. And I don't see how it could possibly be acceptable to anyone on the earth that's not making money off of it. And how is it that they're making money off of something that's so disgusting and evil? I think that's a very good question. I'm going to play this video for you, and I will be back momentarily, and it's my last video, so if you all would like to call, now is the time to do it.
All things commodities wrapped up there, but we want to turn our attention back to our earlier conversation with Shundron Thomas. Today, of course, marks 1 year since the murder of George Floyd by a Minneapolis police officer, which, of course, ignited a national as well as a global debate surrounding racial violence and rising inequality. 12 months on, have systems changed? With policing legislation in Congress still stuck, have we seen any progress on economic inequality? Is access broadening as we see asset prices continuing to rise? Can we benefit from it? For more perspective, I'm pleased to bring in Derek Hamilton, the Henry Cohen Professor of Economics and Urban Policy at the New School and a member of the New York City's Racial Justice Commission. So much perspective to give us, Professor. And from your sentiment, just check in for us, 12 months on. Anything very much changed for you?
Well, the political climate has changed, and that's a necessary ingredient for the economic conditions to change as well. But in terms of economic conditions, if anything, the pandemic probably has deepened inequality.
Can I go back to basics for our viewers at the moment who are sat busy looking at Bloomberg terminals, trying to make money for their investor base, trying to focus in on, you know, where the best place to put their assets to work? Remind us why we care, why it matters so much that we are building an economy that isn't unequal as it is now.
You know, we need to recapture the imagination of what an economy is. If an economy is defined simply in self-interested accumulation without constraint, without bounds, I mean, I think that detracts from a moral economy. I think what we really should be aiming for is an economy that's inclusive of everyone and one where one's race, gender, sexual orientation has no material consequences as it relates to transaction. So if that's the goal, then they should absolutely care. They should absolutely care about fostering an economy that really leads up to our creed of promoting opportunity based on the dent of your hard work.
You know, Professor, they say change starts local, right? Do what you can to change your environment before you go out into the world. I am thinking, given your involvement and support within New York City, what is New York City in these moments doing right that you would like to see expand, perhaps, to a federal level?
Well, you know, what Mayor de Blasio did by calling for this commission, again, the work has to start politically. The work has to start where government takes responsibility to redress and atone for some of these deep inequalities. In fact, we should recognize that government has had a large role to play. And we're talking about George Floyd today. And, you know, we're reminded that it was state-inflicted killings that can't be disassociated from our economy in general. So I applaud the mayor of New York for convening this commission to actually do some work and look into what New York City can do with regards to reform to, again, live up to the creed of equity.
You know, when we talk about the economy, so much of that also comes from the Federal Reserve. And really, it's almost been a shift in the last year with the Federal Reserve coming out and saying that they're really looking at the systemic disparities that they see, the gap in unemployment rates between white Americans and black Americans. Does that start to give you comfort that that is the right sort of change to be looking at the economics when it comes now from, let's say, the Federal Reserve?
Well, we know that the Federal Reserve has a strong bully pulpit by which people respond, markets respond. So the Federal Reserve valuing not just broad categories of unemployment and economic well-being, but thinking about specific groups is certainly an important good start. We need all hands on deck. We need to recognize that it's the Federal Reserve. And you know where else we're looking? We're looking at Treasury and indeed tax reform. When we think about tax reform and thinking about Treasury and the IRS, is not just revenue collection, but being proactive and using its economic power to intervene in American lives and promote, an economy that's grounded in morality that promotes equity across race as well.
And when you're talking of equity, it's interesting. We've got a viewer messaging directly asking me to ask you, it's equal outcomes versus equal opportunity, of course, Derek. And from your perspective,
How can we build more equal opportunity at the moment? Do you feel that some of the administration changes in place are going to build that? Is it about education? How do we level up so the opportunity is the same wherever you might be, whoever you might be?
The most critical ingredient for wealth building, and wealth might be perhaps the most single paramount indicator of economic security, is capital. And throughout American history, blacks have been denied access to capital. So if we want to reverse that, we need a proactive government that seeds capital and ensures that people can have access to wealth building. You know, I'm concerned.
I just want to say it's not only blacks that have had access to capital. And in fact, if you're a rich black African American, I don't think you probably have a problem getting access to capital. It's a matter of poor people not being able to get access to capital. I think. I could be wrong. Maybe it's because I have experienced life differently. I myself have not ever been able to access capital. And I don't really want to. I just want to go through and do the thing that I do in life and look at the pretty birds and, you know, the blue sky and enjoy my garden. You know, I don't really give a fuck about capital. You know, I mean, every once in a while you say shit like, if I won the lottery, I do this, you know. And that's what the poor people do. They don't get access to capital unless maybe they win the lottery, which they call the poor people's tax, right? Because poor people are like, oh, I got to get a ticket out of this place. I need wealth. I need to be able to get all my hands on all this stuff. And it's not just poor people, you know, it's middle class people. It's this brainwashing that goes on. Not that poor people don't deserve access to capital or have necessity to access for capital. It's this brainwashing that goes on for like the middle class people, you know, oh, I have to have this and I have to have that. And no matter how much I have, it's never going to be enough because there's more stuff to want. And all these people just wanting more and more and more. This is how we wound up here asking if humanity will survive. Because as far as I can tell, it doesn't really matter to most people. They don't seem to be giving it a single thought, really, which is fine. I mean, you know, like I say, I go through life going la 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 la. Because it makes for an easy, happy life. More or less, and I enjoy it every chance I get. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I have capital, and I think that what I've said all along is that when you come to this planet, you know, it's part of the contract, right? It's one of the universal laws, right? Like for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Right? That's one of the basic laws of physics of the universe. One of the basic laws is that you can always find humor in pretty much almost every situation if you're looking for it and you have the ability to find humor. Because a lot of people never see humor in anything. But in pretty much any situation, humor is there to be found somewhere. Even the ugly stuff. That being said, as I was saying, it's not just that. It's that if you are unhappy, okay, one of the other basic rules, if you are unhappy, is that there's always something right in front of you to enjoy. And most people that are unhappy aren't aware of what's going on around them because they're unhappy about something that happened in the past. Man, I can't believe that person did that to me, or how could this idiot on the freeway have cut me off? You know, things that aren't going on in this moment. And you carry them with you instead of being in this moment and seeing the things around you that are there to enjoy. So these are some of the basic rules, the way I understand it, and the way I live my life. I don't, you know, it's not important to me whether I have access to capital or not. what's important to me is that I enjoy whatever there is to enjoy, and you know, I wish you capital if that's what you want to get. The thing is if you just want to enjoy your life, it's waiting for you to step into it. You know, life, you're soaking in it. You know, you remember those old washing detergent commercials? They were like going to the nail salon to get their nails done, and they'd stick their hands in a bowl of soap, and they'd say, I forget which soap it was, you're soaking in it. I saw one of the comic books that I have probably enjoyed the most. It was just a couple of issues. I think it was 3 issues long. At the end of one of them, it had a picture of the guy, and it said, "Life, you're soaking in it." I always thought that was pretty good. So I am running out of videos here. I actually have one video left, not including the bright side, which I'm going to play for you now. And if you really want to call, now would be the time to do it, because I have the one video left after this, and then we're out of here because I am fucking hungry.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
I love that video. Okay, so I didn't say that I hate making money. What I said is I'm not concerned about making money, and it's not the focus of my life. And it will never be the focus of my life. So, and I think it's sad if that is the focus of your life. I think you're probably missing out on so much life going on around you. But a man has got to have priorities, damn it. That's what I always say. I don't want to tell you what your priorities should be. I just want you to make sure that you have them. You know, and whatever they are, good luck to you. Okay, so that being said, I have one video left, and the reason I saved this one to the last was because last time I played a video by this person, this thing popped up that says there's a copyrighted video in your stream, and your stream may be discontinued. But I really like this video about the origins of COVID, which we've been talking about a lot. So you know what, I think I'll just go and put it on the YouTube page. Nobody seems to want to call, so I'm gonna go get some food. It's very nice of you all to tune in. Please know that you all are what makes the show worthwhile, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because and I can prove it, because if it wasn't for you, I would just be sitting here talking to myself. So I really appreciate you showing up, and please note, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back tomorrow, same Mox time, same Mox channel, and until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together, and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of...
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.